Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're back with Francis Fukuyama's Identity. And today we're going to focus on the idea of the origins of the concept of identity and the separation between one's inner self and outer self. So the writer does a lot of focus on classic philosophers who touched on this subject. He puts quite a bit of focus on Martin Luther. He considers him to be one of the first thinkers to have this division between one's inner self and one's outer self. But what I find most interesting in his analysis is this evolution from agrarian society to people that move into urban areas or move to cities, or rural areas that evolve into towns and later on into cities, because this has a profound impact on individuals, how they view themselves and how they establish their identities. So Fukuyama explains that in agrarian societies, your identity is fixed. What you do and who you are in these societies are already pre-established from the moment of your birth. There is a very strict social hierarchy in these societies, and there is a very strong division amongst genders and what they can and cannot do too. Super simplifying, the men do the farming while the women maintain the household. And if someone does not do their labor in the first place, things just fall apart. Like if you have a son that doesn't want to be a farmer, there will be no one to maintain the family in the next generation. People spent their whole lives living in the same household, the same neighbors, in the same village. Mostly all had the same faith, and their universe in general was very reduced to a very small area. Social mobility was not a thing in these type of societies. Basically, you could not choose a different occupation, you couldn't move to another village, or you couldn't choose who you would marry in the first place. So obviously these societies lacked any type of choice, pluralism, or diversity in general. And pretty much since everything was established or pre-established for the person, there was no sense in just sitting around and thinking about how you would change your life or brood about your opportunities, or question who you were. You just had a ton of work and you had to do it. So basically, the concept of identity in these societies was totally fixed, and this whole idea of one's inner self and one's wants and needs really didn't exist, or at least was not contemplated or considered important. But this started to change when we had the Industrial Revolution. You had mass migrations to urban areas. We also had major growth in trade and commerce during this time, and this pretty much uprooted all social hierarchies all across Europe. Also, you had technologies changing, and these new technologies would produce new occupations. And not only you had new forms of work, you had new disciplines to study. People had to study up to be able to do certain things. So education started to play a major role in these societies. You had the birth of new social classes in these cities. Now, life for these peasants when they arrived to the cities was tremendously cutthroat. It was very brutal. But also at the same time, these people found new liberties in how they defined themselves, what they wanted in life, what to pursue. They were not tied by tradition once they arrived to these places. They found themselves with the ability of choosing their faith, how they wanted to believe. Also during this time, literacy rates had gone up, and this helped spread new ideas. So these individuals had more opportunities, more options for their lives. And this created this fertile ground where we're going to have the birth of the modern concept of individual that we're going to cover in the next video. I'm going to leave it here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.